If you have Graves' disease, your eye symptoms could be something more. The itchiness may just be scratching the surface. That gritty feeling may not be so cut and dry. And you need to put the pain behind your eyes front and center. Up to 50% of people with Graves' disease will develop a different condition called thyroid eye disease, which needs a different treatment. To learn more, find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
Adele is set to return to the stage at the Brit Awards, but what about her Vegas residency? We're going to have that for you tomorrow.
And then Monsters Ball turns 20. What Halle Berry is saying now about her history-making Oscar win.
I keep telling everybody I was having an out-of-body experience.
And speaking of Oscars, tomorrow.
Happening now.
They've been our heroes time and time again. We're going to look back at some of the sacrifices that local nurses made at a time when we needed them most. What they did during last year's freeze to keep the community safe, coming up.
Overall, fairly quiet weather pattern this week, but temperatures will be changing. I'll let you know how warm it's going to get in just a bit.
Roses, they're the flower language of love. Coming up, what you can expect for Valentine's supplies and prices. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, we've got some late breaking news for you this afternoon regarding the worst mass shooting in state history.
A federal judge awarding hundreds of millions of dollars to the families affected by that fatal shooting in Sutherland Springs more than 4 years ago.
Myra Arthur joins us now live in the studio with what we're learning about the court's decision. Myra?
And Steve and Ursula, we are still learning a lot of the details. We are poring over this 185-page court document right now. But what we know so far is that a federal judge has awarded $224 million to 17 Sutherland Springs families. That's the result of a lawsuit those families filed against the federal government. On November 5th, 2017, Devin Kelly opened fire inside the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs during Sunday morning service. 26 people were killed and 22 were wounded. Shortly after that, Kelly killed himself. Kelly served in the Air Force, and it was later discovered that the Air Force failed to submit his criminal history into an FBI database. That should have prevented him from buying the guns. The victims' families filed a lawsuit, and then last year, a judge ruled that the federal government was 60% responsible for the plaintiff's injuries because of the failure to report that information. That there is a breakdown of all the money awarded to those 17 families. The plaintiffs are all families of those who were killed or who were injured in that shooting. Now, we're still working to gather all the details about the impact of this court decision. You can look for more information on our website right now at KSAT.com. Steve.
Ira, we've got an update now on a fatal crash in Kerrville last week. A 60-year-old victim identified as Dennis Nelson Keller. Kerrville police say he died last Thursday along I-10 after drivers were stranded for hours because of weather-related issues. Keller's Ford F-350 truck stopped in that traffic when it was hit by a tractor trailer from behind. He and a passenger, a 43-year-old man, taken to the hospital. Keller did not survive. The other man is okay, both residents of Kerrville. As for the driver of the tractor trailer, he is not facing any charges.
A couple now in custody on child abuse charges after they allegedly beat a 12-year-old child so badly he died. Take a look at 32-year-old Derek Coles and 27-year-old Capri Cheatham. The child, Danilo Coles, is Derek's son. San Antonio police say they were called out to the couple's apartment last night after Danilo stopped breathing. He was taken to the hospital and was found to be brain dead a short time later. Hospital staff reported suspicious injuries on his body, and Coles and Cheatham later admitted that they'd been disciplining him in a number of ways, including spanking him with a belt so hard he had whip marks and internal bleeding. The two said it all started because he was being, quote, disrespectful. Coles and Cheatham face injury to a child charges, which could now be upgraded. We're going to continue our coverage of this story tonight on the news at 6. We get reaction from two people who live and work near that apartment where the tragedy took place. Our Daphne Gray reports tonight at 6.
San Antonio police trying to find the person who shot a man dead this morning. It happened outside a home on Longview Drive near South WW White Road. Investigators say the man's relatives found him with multiple gunshot wounds. He died at the hospital. At last check, no one has been arrested. Let's take a look at the local COVID numbers. There are 1,475 new cases today and 24 more confirmed deaths. 969 COVID patients are in the hospital, 239 in the ICU, 107 are on ventilators.
And there's a good sign when it comes to the coronavirus and recent surges in Omicron cases. New cases and new hospitalizations all falling across the country.
But as ABC's Rena Roy explains, experts warn this does not mean the pandemic is over.
A sign of hope in the fight against the coronavirus. Every state in the country reporting new case rates are down or stable. Some areas now easing restrictions. Delaware lifting its indoor mask mandate later this week. New Jersey planning to do the same in schools next month.
We are not removing the ability of individual district leaders to maintain and enforce such a policy within their schools, or any private child care provider from maintaining such a policy within their business.
Coast to coast, daily cases are down by about 61% since the peak. COVID patients receiving care at hospitals down nearly 50%.
I think we're in a much better space. I worry about might we have a future variant? We might. Might we have future surges? We might. So I don't think we can say COVID is over, but I think we can say we're in a much better place and we can get our lives back.
Still, new COVID deaths, a lagging indicator, are climbing. More than 2,400 Americans losing their lives to the virus every day. 41-year-old Jessica Estep was one of them. The newlywed mother of two was fully vaccinated but immunocompromised after beating cancer.
On that final day, her father and her sister and I stood with her as she drew her last breath.
Her family now pleading with everyone to get the shot.
Think about others, because you don't know who's standing beside you, and you don't want to give them the virus that could take a mother away from their children.
The CDC says 64% of the total U.S. population is fully vaccinated, and just 50% of those eligible have gotten their booster shots. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now that we are nearly 1 year past last winter's freeze, we are honoring the people who got us through it. And nurses top that list.
They do. They, like all of us, also dealt with outages and freezing conditions in their homes, but they put aside their own challenges to help the rest of us deal with a disaster in the middle of a pandemic.
Our Stefania Jimenez spoke with a head nurse from University Health to hear his story.
I remember driving to work and seeing cars along Medical Drive or Babcock just spinning out of control.
That's patient care coordinator Matt Lasano from University Health. Like many of us, he remembers the nightmare that was last February's freeze. Still, he had to go to work then. As head nurse, he understood that lives were on the line, so he and his nursing team got creative. Some worked longer shifts, while other nurses hunkered down at the hospital, turning spaces into hotel rooms.
Some of our nurses, they spent the night. And other charge nurses like myself, they slept in their offices.
And they never stopped caring for patients. They couldn't. Because of the power outages and dangerous road conditions, it was taking longer for patients to show up to the hospital, and that complicated things.
The patients who presented here to the emergency department were a lot sicker. And they were sicker because they were waiting to get care.
And then there were the dialysis patients. Matt says hospital staff did everything possible to make sure they got treatment.
And we were able to find one of the community one of the community dialysis centers that was able to go ahead and take patients.
While it was a lot to take on, Matt admits he and his staff also gained a lot last February. His department has since expanded its communication system and continues to prepare for its next emergency, no matter what it is.
We have mock drills throughout the year, and that helps us plan to go ahead and know how soon our staff can get here to be able to go ahead and plan how we need to be successful should another disaster occur. We're here to take care of you. We take pride. Our staff loves what they do, and they are great at what they do, and we're here for you.
Yeah, now there's one thing that's going to make it a lot easier for nurses and hospitals in the event of another outage, and that's a program started by our own electric company, CPS Energy. It's a program that ensures that our most vulnerable people who cannot lose access to power because they need dialysis treatments or constantly they need to be hooked up to a respirator. This program ensures that they will not lose power in the event of an outage. However, if that's you or someone that you know, you need to let CPS Energy know about your situation in order to be enrolled in this program so that you don't lose power. And the best thing that you can do is call CPS Energy and let them know that you're in that group. That's one of the many, many things that we're going to discuss. I'm so excited about this and our upcoming program. It's called The Breakdown with Steph and Steve, which starts this Wednesday. It debuts this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Steve, back to you.
Looking forward to the show as well. Thank you, Steph. All right, let's talk about traffic right now. This is 410 and McCullough, and you want to talk about a backup. You are seeing it. I'm guessing that is the westbound lanes of 410 that we're looking at that's backed up. And, most of the traffic seems to be moving fine, but there is a backup on the westbound lanes.
We were actually above freezing this morning, 39 degrees for the low temperature at the airport in town, 64 for the afternoon high. Notice those not too far from average. Of course, the morning low a little below our average of 44, but temperatures will be modifying a bit in the days ahead. West Kerrville right now at 62. Eagle Pass, 63. Floresville now in the mid-60s. Leon Springs an exception at 59, along with Bulverde 59 and 61 right now in Windcrest. A pretty quiet evening ahead of us. Clear sky, calm wind, and dry air will give us good radiational cooling. So becoming chilly rather quickly. I mean, by 10 o'clock, mid-40s. Have a jacket handy if venturing out this evening. We'll talk about how temperatures change and who could even hit freezing tonight in just a bit, Steve.
But man, those 60s feel good. Thank you, Adam. President Joe Biden meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz at the White House today. Scholz committing to join NATO in enacting harsh penalties if Russia invades Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin denies he is planning an attack. However, video shows Russian military troops conducting military drills in Belarus, which lies at the northern border of Ukraine. If an attack is carried out, it's estimated there could be 50,000 Ukrainian civilian casualties, some of those also participating in their own training drills in case of an attack.
It's a major part of the rodeo, and it's been a tradition since the late 80s. Coming up, we're talking dirt, rodeo dirt. We're going to take you to the AT&T Center where 2,000 tons were put down this morning.
Can't have a rodeo without dirt. Plus, we're a week away from Valentine's Day, and if flowers are on your list, we're going to tell you what you need to know about pricing and shortages. But before we go to break, here's a look at what we have coming up on the news at 6.
The Jewel of the West Side announces their next president, a Latino. Good afternoon, I'm Alicia Barrera, and coming up, this university first.
The city unveiling a voter-approved jobs program today, expected to start within a few months. We give you the details.
New at 5, love and money. Valentine's Day next Monday. And if you're planning to show your affection with a big bouquet of red flowers, red roses maybe, expect to pay more. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz says the pandemic is behind flower inflation as well.
Business is blooming at neighborhood flower shops. But with Cupid's big day looming, a word to all you Romeos with your heart set on romantic red roses.
There are going to be plenty of flowers available. There is a shortage of roses.
Florist Jack Cross says there are roses available, just fewer than years past. It's a global shortage rooted in the pandemic, untended crops, labor shortages, and transportation delays. And now that demand is high, so are prices.
We're seeing a much larger increase on the wholesale cost that we have to pay for roses than I have ever seen in the 35 years I've been doing this.
He'll absorb most of the increase, but says customers can expect to pay $10 to $15 more than last year. There's another shortage that's a thorn in the side of florists: glass. It's making it tricky to find the glass vases for the arrangements.
Hard goods, I would say that was what we were more short on because you're having to pay so much in shipping too.
Florist Gina Clark says their vase costs have doubled when they could get them. They too will absorb most of the increases. Valentine's Day, a big deal for florists, is a challenge this year, so it couldn't hurt to show them some love too.
I say what helps florists is people ordering in advance.
And being open-minded to something different, because pink is pretty romantic too. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
He was making his... But before we get to Valentine's Day, we have another big holiday, like San Antonio style, the Stock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah, we are still a few days away from the official kickoff date, but prep's already underway at the AT&T Center, starting out with the pouring of the dirt.
Gotta have that. This morning it started. About a dozen volunteers helped to load, move, and level more than 2,000 tons of dirt for the 2022 San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. It's a process that is not complete till all 70 trucks are poured out.
It's a well-oiled machine, so to speak. Everyone knows their part, and it gets done probably in about 7 hours or so to get the dirt in here from outside.
And they recycle it, by the way. It's the same dirt every year. The rodeo starts on Thursday, and KSAT is going to be carrying it live. The rodeo itself on the air here on KSAT from 7 to 9, and then we're going to have our Let's Rodeo special live on the rodeo grounds to show you everything that's cool and new, and there's a lot. For more information, head over to KSAT.com.
Back in the AT&T Center this year, and that's a whole lot of dirt.
That's a
Adam
lot.
Caskey.
And you know what? When I see that with my susceptibility to allergies, I think of wheezing.
It just makes you want to cough?
Oh, I just start wheezing after a few hours in there, but I'm getting help. Dr. Stahl's helping me out. We're solving this problem. Anyway, that's so just a reminder, if you're allergic to that dust and dirt, take your inhaler or your medication before you go to the rodeo. Anyway, a light freeze tonight, comfortable afternoons later this week, and a sunny stretch of weather is on the way. There is a slight chance of rain, but nothing very big. We'll get to that coming up. Let's talk about temperatures, because we managed to stay above freezing last night. I think it's going to be different later on tonight. Not a hard freeze, or I should say not another hard freeze, but a brief light freeze anticipated. I wouldn't worry about pipes or anything tonight. 61 right now. It's comfortable, but a dew point of 27. And across the state, we've got temperatures in the 50s to right near 60 degrees. Not bad. Very uniform temperatures, very similar readings. But this is the kind of weather where we cool off really quickly in the evening and at night. So if you have any outdoor plans or you're venturing outside, just have that jacket within reach. Currently, Carrizo Springs 64, Del Rio 67, and Cotulla the warm spot at 68, already down in the mid-50s in the hill country. So this is what we're expecting tomorrow morning. A brief light freeze, just a couple of hours, making it to about 28 in Fredericksburg and Kerrville, 29 Hondo, even Carrizo Springs about 32, Gonzales 31, and here in San Antonio, anywhere from about 29 in Leon Springs to 31 in Elmendorf, 29 Timberwood Park, and about 28 for the low temperature in Bernie. But mornings do get a bit warmer. We'll still be below average most of this week with mornings in the mid and upper 30s, but at least we'll be above freezing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And really, other than tomorrow morning, we're anticipating above freezing mornings, even getting as warm as nearly 50 degrees by Saturday morning. So there is an upward trend overall when it comes to those chilly morning temperatures. Dew points are down. They're down in the 20s, so the dry air is in place. And if you have dry skin or you're susceptible to it, chapped lips, you're noticing it. And it's going to stay this way all week long. We're not expecting a spike in moisture content of our air. We're not going to see any mugginess or real significant humidity moving back into town. So this is going to stick around. Flip side, if you work outdoors, you exercise outside, you don't feel that stickiness in the afternoon, which is nice. And down to the south of us, we actually had a little bit of rain down in the valley. At least somebody got some moisture from a weak disturbance that's passing overhead. We just had clouds this morning. That was it. But this dip in the upper level flow That helped kickstart some of those showers to the south of us. Now, our weather pattern is not going to change a whole lot most of this week. We just remain basically in the same type of upper level flow until we get toward Friday, Saturday. That's when a weak little disturbance should sneak into Mexico, and that could throw a little bit of energy our way. And on Saturday, we could have a few stray showers popping up, but really not looking like anything significant. Sunny tomorrow, 32 in the morning, again, some upper 20s out there. Then by the afternoon, mid 60s. So warm it up nicely again. Big temperature spread from the morning to the afternoon. We make it to 70 on Wednesday. We'll be near 70 degrees for highs Wednesday through Friday. And actually a very weak cold front hits on Saturday. It's going to kick up the wind, but it's not going to affect our temperatures a whole lot.
Thanks so much, Adam.
All right, a welcome announcement today involving a Spur.
Yeah, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has the authority, if you will, to make available any player to substitute for a player who's injured in the All-Star game. And such was the case today when he named DeJounte Murray as an All-Star for the Western Conference. Great news coming out of the NBA today. We'll have more about that coming up. And a huge surprise by the Houston Texans and their new head coach coming up. DeJounte Murray is an All-Star after failing to be named as an All-Star reserve last week. He made it today as an injury replacement for Draymond Green. That's after Green openly campaigned on national TV last week that Murray should be his replacement. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver must have been listening before he made that decision today. Murray is enjoying the best season of his career with 10 of his 14 triple-doubles this season, one away from breaking David Robinson's franchise record. Now he's headed to Cleveland during All-Star weekend. The San Antonio Spurs are getting a rare 4 days off before heading out for their annual rodeo road trip. This time it'll be 8 games in 11 days with the All-Star break in between. The first 5 games will be played over 8 days, starting Wednesday in Cleveland. Then following the All-Star break, it will be 3 games in 4 days, and not returning home until March the 3rd. In other words, gone for the entire month of February. With the 4 days off, the Spurs practice on Sunday and again today before departing for Cleveland tomorrow. They currently sit in 12th in the Western Conference, which is out of the playoff and play-in picture right now, while the Cavaliers are ranked 4th in the East with just 1 game out of first place. This is normally where the team bonds for the stretch run of the playoffs. Now with COVID on the downturn, that should help.
We have a really good group of guys, very high character, and we're starting to get, obviously with COVID and stuff, it made it tough to get dinner and hang out with each other. But now that it's kind of run through our team and most of us are, obviously all of us are vaccinated, we're able to do that. And it's been great for camaraderie. And being one of the older guys on the team, I try and be a guy that organizes those things. And I think we play better the next day when we all hang out and just get to know each other even more. We're excited for this trip. We know the All-Star break's in the middle of it, but we're excited to get out. We play some good basketball on the road, and we're excited to get back in front of our fans in March or wherever that is.
Yeah, March the 3rd to be exact. All right, here's a look at the schedule. And it's a tough one here. It starts Wednesday in Cleveland, followed by Atlanta, New Orleans, then next Monday, in fact, Chicago, and they wrap up the first leg against OKC. Second half of it is only 3 games, remember, and here's a look at that. Friday on the 25th, the 26th, back-to-back games, Washington, Miami, and then wrapping it up against Memphis on February the 28th.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
In a surprise move, the Associated Press is reporting the Houston Texans have turned to their own defensive coordinator, Lovie Smith, as their new head coach. This after fired Dolphins coach Brian Flores filed a federal lawsuit against the NFL that included a section on the Texans' decision to fire David Culley. Smith was previously a head coach for the Buccaneers and Bears from 2004 to 2015 and coached in Super Bowl 41. So did they have that ace in their pocket, so to speak, the entire time, or did they just think of it now, would be the question you would put to the Texans.
Well, it's not like Lovie Smith is an unknown candidate.
Why wasn't he at the top of the list right out of the gate?
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting. Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next, and we'll see you back here at 6.